Hello team. Today's session we're going to explore customers in Tigerpaw, specifically on how to search and add new customers. First thing I'd like to review is a place to go for hints in Tigerpaw. Up at the top of your screen, in all these icons, there's a little book. It's a knowledge-based book. We try to put a few hints and tips in here. If we open this up, we have admin adding accounts. Opening this up, what I'd like to explore first is our naming conventions. We have tried to be a little consistent about our customers, not always successful, but we do have some examples in here of how we try to name our customers. For instance, we have, if they're attorneys or MDs, we put last name first. We have initials and abbreviations. We try to keep out the periods, the dashes, unnecessary spaces, that kind of thing. Municipalities are a big one. We try to put towns and cities at the end. It just makes things a little searchable, is a better word for it. As you can see, the word the, we always like to put second. So this is just a place to go if you can review naming conventions. Having said that, what I'd like to do is show you an example. These are all the items that we can actually search on in Tigerpaw. We're going to focus just on the name itself. And what I recommend is what we call wildcards. It's just the word that you're searching on in between two asterisks. For instance, if I type in the word the, this is one of the reasons why we try to put the at the end, because now you're scrolling through an awful lot of customers that were inputted incorrectly. And the reason is in the type, you can see most of these say prospects. We do allow our sales reps to enter the customers before us, and they don't adhere to the naming conventions. So we don't really worry about it until it actually becomes a customer. Once it does, then we kind of fix it, in other words. So what I'd like to do is show you, we have a sale here that we're going to work with. And this sale is Acme Pool Repair. So I want to go back to Tigerpaw, and using those wildcards, I'm just going to put the word Acme in between two asterisks. And give it a second. There we go. As you can see, it will pick up ACME even as a word down here, which is fine. What I would look for in this case is we're looking for, I believe, Acme Pool Repair. Now, if we happen to find a customer here, say you were looking for this customer Acme Crating Company, we notice that it's a prospect. You can actually pick that, and we're going to go through the same steps as adding to fix it as well. But now I'm looking for Acme Pool. I don't see it. So now I'm going to add this customer. Up at the top, we have this little drop down. And in the drop down, we can add a lot of new stuff, and one of them is new account. I'm going to click on new account, and I come up with a blank screen. Now, what I also would recommend is I'm going to go back up to the knowledge book, adding accounts, and there's a basic setup chapter. And what this basic setup chapter is going to be all the information that you're going to need to fill out. So it might be helpful to review this to make sure that you have everything handy. Obviously, the name and full address. You're going to need the primary rep, the rep that sold the account. You're going to need the phone number of the customer, You're going to need complete contact information, including the email address and phone number. If they give you an accounts payable email, which is nice, we will be entering that. We will also need some accounting info, such as if the bill to is different. And we will also need tax code statuses, which I'll get into in a second. So this is all the information that you may want to review. Make sure you have it going into creating your account. Now, I do have all this information in various places. So if I come back over here, this is my sale. It gives me my customer name. I've got my address. I've got my Mr. Bill. I've got his phone number, and I know his email address. So coming back over to Tigerpaw, I'm just going to simply enter this customer. Now we do use upper and lowercase. That's another sort of naming conventions. We don't use all caps. It's always upper or lower. Put in my address. Here in Andrews, North Carolina. The primary rep in this case was Eric Pilati. One thing I will do is change the type. It is no longer a prospect. It is a customer. Phone number. I'm just right-clicking here in the phone number, and I can add a new. And I put in my phone number, 800-555-5555. Then I'm going to go down. This is my contact information down here. Once again, I can either hit the button or I just like to right click, adding my new contact. And first name Mr., last name Bill, apparently. Now I can put in his phone number. And down here is his email address, and then once again, you just right click and add an email address. So Mr. Bill at .com. I'm just going to click on the customer name at the top. That will bring me back to the original customer, and as you can see now, I have all the information in here. The next piece I need to do to add is what we call accounting information. And we go up to this green lamp. We click on the green lamp. And there's a few screens we need to fill out here. The AR customer ID, which is the same as the customer name. I probably should have done a copy paste, but I'll just type it in. We do invoice terms. Most of our customers are net 30. If we have a different bill to, we can always hit the plus key here and add in a different bill to. In this case, it's the same, so we're just going to leave it blank. The next thing we need is taxing status. Now these guys are in North Carolina. So now we have to find out what the proper taxing is. And I'll make these available to you as well. So now we have to look up where is Andrews, North Carolina. These are tax tables that I just pulled down off the web. This is for North Carolina. I'm going to hit A. And I'm going to go down here and find Andrews. Right here, Andrews. Now, most of the time, the taxing district is the same as the city. However, this particular city is at 0, so they're going to be taxed based on the county, so Cherokee County. So this particular customer I want to find a tax code called Cherokee County. Now I'm going to go over to Excel. I have downloaded all of our tax districts, and I'm just going to go down here to North Carolina, NC, and sure enough, here it is. It says MC, but NC Cherokee. So that just tells me that I do have it in Tigerpaw. If you do not find the tax district here on this sheet, you'll have to contact me and I'll have to set it up. But as you can see, hopefully we've got most of them. So I come back to Tigerpaw under the tax code. I'm just going to type in NC. It takes me down to all the North Carolina, and here's Cherokee. And I click on Cherokee and I hit save. At this point, we now have a new customer in our file.